I've been going through my videos on my phone to see what I could delete and what needed to be kept, and couldn't believe when I found the following videos of a charity shop haul I did months ago. Actually, I think it's two different shops. They're both quite small, particularly one of them is only a few items, and the other one is split between a few sort of bric-a-brac items and some art. So take a look at these. I wanted to post them up because I think they're quite interesting, quite nice little items, and particularly the art is quite interesting. And you'll see what I mean when I say I've left it quite a while to post it, because I talk, for a particular reason, I talk about the exact date that I originally made the videos, and that was back in September 2022. So if you're watching this brand new, it's just come out, you'll realise how many months ago that was. If you're watching it later, then it doesn't matter, does it? So I hope you enjoy these videos and let me know what you think in the comments. Okay, this video is going to be a little bit of a mishmash really of different charity shop finds, because I haven't really done one mega shop this week. It's been bits and pieces. Probably the biggest shop was at the Salvation Army, which is turning into my favourite charity shop local to me. They always have some really lovely little bargains, and you'll see later the big bargains were some pictures I picked up, but I shall do those separately because they're not all going to fit on the table. But at the Salvation Army I did buy some clothes for myself, which were really good prices, and I picked up a spoon dish tray, crockery one, that matched some of my mum's crockery, so I got that for her to put her spoons on when she's made a cup of tea. Other than that, I picked up this nice little pentagon trinket box. I think it's a resin. It doesn't feel like soapstone, and it feels actually too light to even be soapstone, but it's still lovely with this little swirl of colours, sort of lacquered top, and the little sort of almost Celtic design around the sides. I also picked up these Royal Worcester, sorry, that was 50p. Picked up these Royal Worcester, I think. No, that was £1. Sorry, that was £1. The rest, these were from the 50p table, so I'm confusing myself, even though the prices are there for me to see. Royal Worcester, vinegar and oil pourers. Actually, they both look like oil pourers, but I suppose you would use them as a pair for vinegar and oil. So Royal Worcester, don't know if it's got a name on it. No, it doesn't. I'll have to look up the name of the style. One's a little bit sticky. It obviously has had oil in it, so I'm going to have to give them a good clean. They're in good condition though. They're not chipped or anything, but yes, they have been used, so they need a bit of a soak, I think. And then this item, I've seen this kind of pottery a lot on American thrift store videos, and people get very enthused about it, and I've never really, I don't know if I've seen it much or never given it any thought when I have seen it, but it's Portuguese pottery. So it's from Portugal, and it's a lovely little milk jug and a leaf tray to sit it on. Now there's quite a lot of crazing on it, which personally I love. I think the crazing just adds to the age and beauty of something. I suppose if you were going to buy it to actually use it, you might be concerned more by the crazing, but if you're just buying something as a decorative piece, then it's not a problem at all. It just adds to it, I think. And that was £1 for the pair, so 50p each for my oil pourers, £1 for my little trinket box, and £1 for my Portuguese pottery. Okay, ignore the vase in the background. These are 3 small items I picked up from the local Prospect shop, which I always pop into when I go to the post office. The first item is the most expensive at a grand total of £3. Oh, my knees are going to crack. I need to stand up. Hold on a moment. I'm coming at a different angle. So that was £3. Right? Oh, it's probably not worth, probably worth about £10, £12, something like that, maybe a bit more. But I just love the lines of it and the design. It's such an unusual, simple design. It is silver plated. And if I tilt it up, you can see, you might just about be able to see that it says silver plated on brass. Cavalier, made in England. So yeah, that was really just caught my eye on the shelves, as did this beautiful marble bud vase. I say bud vase, it looks a bit like an urn, but it's too small. You wouldn't get many ashes in this, but you can see it's not a huge interior for you to stand something in. It would take 1 or 2 stems. And that cost me, what did it cost me? £1 for that one. And then finally this lovely item, which cost me £1. It's got little holes in, so I assume it's some kind of pot for pottery or something like that, something that you want the scent to come out of. It's got a little stopper in the top, and this is from Pottery in Kenya. That's one of their kind of traditional bird motifs that they use on a lot of their ceramics. Pottery in Kenya is a studio that creates lots of just wonderful ceramic beads, just beautiful ceramic beads. Look them up. And obviously ceramics like plates, bowls and things like this that you can use. And I believe it was originally set up as a kind of social enterprise studio, enabling people, local people, particularly women, to have a trade, to be able to work, but to have a trade that they're creating things that are quite traditional and take some skill, that they can then sell without involving a middleman, as it were, you know, somebody or a big corporation that's basically going to take all the profits and pay very low wages. So I'm told if you go to Kenya, which I never have, it's well worth a visit to do the tour of their studios as well. It's on your must-do list if you go to Kenya, remember that. But definitely look them up, because their beading and stuff is absolutely lovely. So that was from the Prospect, and that was a grand total of £5. This video is actually a remake of a video. I actually made a video of the trip to the Salvation Army and the pictures I bought there recently. And the video I recorded on the 8th of September 2022, if you're watching this much later. Some of you might understand the significance of that date, particularly if you're from the UK. And I recorded it, and I'll explain a little bit later why I've had to remake this, although it will become quite obvious, I should think. But anyway, I went into the Salvation Army on this particular day, and they had so many frames and pictures reduced to 50p. They were obviously trying to clear out a lot of their pictures that hadn't been selling. So I picked up this frame. It's a fairly modern frame, but it's a nice wood frame with some nice rope detailing and a little bit of gilding on that. And I just bought that because, well, 50p, but also quite often I get pictures, or I have pictures that I would like to put in a frame or into a nicer frame. So I just bought that because I thought that could come in useful in the future. Let me get rid of that without breaking anything, hopefully. Then this one, as I said, also 50p, is by an artist called Colin Williamson, who I did a quick look up, and he's quite well known for doing Yorkshire scenes, pictures of Yorkshire. This one's called High Farm, and you've obviously got this lovely cottage surrounded by trees, like a hill or a mountain behind, and the sheep. It's quite a nice sort of typical Yorkshire scene, but also actually it reminded me a lot of Wales type scenery as well. So could be a number of places in the UK. Then this one, which I absolutely love, I thought was beautiful, but know very little about. It's a watercolour. The other one, High Farm, was a print, or is a print, I believe. But this, and I'm getting a lot of glare, aren't I, from the window? That's not really helping. So this is a watercolour, looks like it's on watercolour paper, and the title of it is Paysag Mediter, which I believe, roughly translated, means Mediterranean Passage, or Passage Mediterranean. I don't think Mediter is a place, not that I'm aware of. And then there's this signature, which I haven't been able to match up with anything. So if you recognise it, let me know. It looks like a Tom across the top, or Tam. Then just down on the left there's like a D in a box. And then it looks like the scrawl, so it looks like it goes USA, but that might just be me seeing things that aren't really there. So if you recognise that, do let me know, because I really like the picture. And the location of it, again, I mean, Paysag Mediter doesn't really give much away, except that it's probably somewhere Spanish, particularly as it's Casa Arab Club. So it's either somewhere in Spain or somewhere that's a Spanish-speaking country, because that means casa is home. So, yeah, but no searches have brought anything out, but somebody has sold something similar, same name, obviously same artist, but slightly different painting, but obviously the same sort of general area or influence. And they presumably didn't realise that the artist was this here, and they actually listed the artist on eBay as being this, as the signature. So obviously that isn't the case, but that's the only thing that sort of has come up in my searches. But it does look like a typical Mediterranean village or town, doesn't it? Sort of could be Spain or Italy, or even somewhere on the potentially even the north coast of parts of Africa. But who knows? If you know, let me know. That's becoming my trademark phrase. If you know, let me know in the comments. Now, this is why I've had to re-record. I hope it doesn't slide too much. This is why I've had to re-record this video. So take a look at this picture. Do you like it? Don't you like it? I'm just going to see if I can get a better angle. Now, if you're a real art buff, you might look at that and say, well, it's a good amateur picture, but that's it. And you may be right. I have no idea about art. I'm one of those people who subscribes to the, you know, art is in the eye of the beholder, and you like what you like and you dislike what you dislike. So it's quite a nice, it's a print of a watercolour. It's got quite a light wash, a light brush. I don't know if that's a particular style of painting or anything, but it's of a view in the south of France, and this is the significant bit, because it's by His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, that being Prince Charles. It's number 40, one of an exclusive edition specially commissioned by the Mail on Sunday in aid of the Phoenix Trust. And as I said, I picked this picture up and recorded the video on the 8th of September 2022. And when I was recording the video, I was saying, you know, it doesn't matter if you don't like it or you think, well, it's only selling because it's the prince, you know, mind you, it's only selling, it was 50p for me, but it sells for quite a bit more online that I've noticed. But you'd look at it and you'd think, well, you know, it's a good amateur picture. If you knowing it's Prince Charles, if you didn't know it's Prince Charles, I don't know what you might think of it. Would you think it's very good, or would you just think, no, I'm not interested in that? Either way, I was talking about on the previous video, isn't it interesting that you can own a picture that has been painted by the Prince of Wales, the future heir of the throne in this country. And I was imagining, you know, what if he hadn't ended up as the Prince of Wales, been in the royal family? Would he have become an artist and developed his talent? And literally within the hour, we got the news that the Queen was quite ill. There was concerns about her health and that the family were all going to Balmoral. And of course, within the day, within 24 hours of me making the first video, I now no longer have a picture that was painted by... I know it's a print, it's not an original, but he didn't do a lot of prints. He would usually only release them for charity. But I own a picture that is by King Charles III, the new king of this country. And I just find that absolutely astounding. I mean, it's even more astounding that I got it for 50p from the Salvation Army and that nobody else had picked it up, or that somebody had thrown it away. But I just find that absolutely gobsmacking that I could now own this picture by the king. I don't know if I'll keep it. You know, I'm a reseller, and I might resell it. But certainly this is something that I would happily hang on my wall. And actually, I'm seeing a bare patch on my bedroom wall at the moment that would just be the right size for that picture, because all the pictures I have that I'd had in storage are either too big or too small for that wall. So I might keep it, I might not, I'll think about it. But I just thought it was amazing, not only that I'd been talking about it in that sense, but that now he is actually the king. That's incredible. So what did you think? Particularly like to know if you know about any of that art, or if you just want to comment on it and what you think of the art. Because I did ramble on quite a bit, particularly about the piece by King Charles as he is now. But I'd love to know what your feelings are on all the pieces there. So pop them in the comments. If you like the videos, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this and of the jewellery, vintage jewellery hauls that I do, please subscribe, and then you'll be able to spot those videos every time they come up on YouTube. As for what's sold already, the Portuguese crockery, that's already sold on my Etsy store, which is Chulabula Vintage, if you want to check it out. And the oil and vinegar pourers are still up there as of recording on Etsy. As for everything else, I'm not sure that I've listed anything else on any site. Still trying to decide what to do with the art. So eventually I may post it. If there's something you particularly liked, let me know, and I will move a little faster to get that listed either on Etsy or on eBay.